Dig
Hello,
that
good
music.
people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, anyone who want to learn more about local SEO. Welcome. Today, I'm so excited to discuss a lot of topics about local SEO, about a new thing, geo. Probably it's a new, not a new thing, probably something that was created because the last time I saw many posts from Greg Gifford who can explain about that. How are you, Greg?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, big pleasure, big pleasure. You spoke on
I,
my podcast, yeah,
I
three
dig that
years
intro,
ago.
man. That intro was really cool.
Yeah, it's my team. It's not me. I usually tell them, look, create something special, new, creative. But honestly, I have a good team of video designers who can just uh, visualize my ideas.
Right,
But
right.
okay, Greg, you spoke on my podcast. That was 3 years ago, but many things changed since then. So AI becomes more thing, and today many SEO experts describe geo like a new thing. Someone can tell no, it's not because you need to pay more attention to SEO. Someone can sell separately the services. Greg, before we start, just remind more about yourself, about your experience, background, and what do you think about geo?
So, yeah, I am the chief operating officer at Search Lab Digital. We are a boutique digital marketing agency based in the US, and we do SEO and PPC. And for 12-ish years of my career, I worked at agencies that only did SEO for car dealerships. So I just ended up becoming a guy that kind of specializes in automotive SEO, although it's really local SEO in general. And I speak at a bunch of conferences. I think it's crazy that the last time I was on the show was about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And like AI search wasn't even on our radar at the time. Like we had no idea that that was going to be this massive game changing shift in the industry. And like here we are now, and it's the wild, wild west. And there's so much going on, and things are changing on a daily basis. It's nuts. But yeah, what do I think about Geo? I think it's a horrible acronym. I'm not saying, oh, just call it SEO. Like we can call it something different. We just shouldn't call it geo because geo has very specific meanings already. We have geo targeting for ads, geo modifiers in local search. Like geo already is a term that is used in multiple different ways. We shouldn't call it geo. We should call it something else.
Yeah. But anyway, when Google change uh, search engine that we know, I mean, like from classical 10 blue links, for now we can find AI mode, AI overview, some other boxes. But I think I changed a little bit my strategy because I mean, like we paid a lot of attention. Probably that was not right even on that time to top and medium funnel because
Yeah.
today I'm not sure that was good idea before, honestly, but we did it because of topical authority. So we decided to create these articles because some of our customers got people who ask, okay, can you explain about the product? And all this content was mostly for customers who can come to a specific product
Right.
to analyze it. And but for now I think we decided to stop doing this because I mean, like, if you want to learn more, you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Google, and even if AI mode can show your link, it doesn't matter that people will click to this link because AI mode usually rewrite content that can find online. So I mean, like, it's not the same like when people read title, description, and then okay, they need more information, but here they get almost everything what they need, and it's not a good reason to click to. Hey, what do you think about that?
I think it uncovers the fact that a lot of the traffic that websites were getting before AI search, and people were happy. My SEO is working. I'm getting a lot of traffic, but it wasn't transactional traffic. It was informational traffic. It was people that wanted to know something, not people that wanted to buy something. Now, I think there are still a lot of situations where it still is important to create this type of content. In automotive, as an example, typically a car is the second most expensive purchase that a person will make in their lifetime. And there are multiple steps in that car buying process where you start to think, maybe I need a car, but do I want a new car, a used car, and what kind do I want, and where do I want to buy, et cetera, et cetera. It's not just a, hey, I need to buy a new pair of jeans, I can go to whatever store and buy a new pair of jeans, or I can ask ChatGPT about some jeans and buy it because it's a $50 to $100 purchase for most people. But I think the upper to middle funnel stuff is still important for those bigger ticket items, because ChatGPT and AI mode and whichever thing we're talking about that's an AI model, it can't just know about you. It has to get that information from somewhere. Now, at a general level of, I have a question about this product or this service, if there's a lot of content already out on the web about that, then the AI models either have it in their training data, or they can do a grounded search and go find that information very easily. So do you then need to go create a bunch of duplicate content to try to get your content to outplace somebody else? Right now, there's a lot of people claiming that you should. I don't know that that's really going to be that necessary moving forward, except in those few verticals where there is a lot longer purchase cycle. I think in those cases, it still is important to share some of that earlier funnel stuff. Like if someone was going to go to ChatGPT and say, I am a newly divorced mother of 4 children with an age range from 5 to 15, and they all play sports, and I need to buy a new vehicle that will be good for my family and let us take all of my sports equipment and my pets to the dog park. What kind of car should I get? That's a very long prompt. That's the kind of stuff that people would ask. And it's going to start to recommend, okay, well, you could get a minivan for this reason, or an SUV for this reason, or a car for this reason, and lay out the pros and cons of each one. It doesn't know that. Like the general public, sure, all the marketers out there realize that these are all just LLMs and their word prediction. But the general public thinks that AI is actual AI and it can think and it does know these things. The AI is not going to be able to tell you the answer to that big, long prompt. It's going to have to go do grounded searches to see the information that's out there. And that's where it could be beneficial if you are a Honda dealer and you want to write about the Honda Odyssey minivan, and you put a piece of content out talking about the reasons that the Odyssey minivan is a better choice for single soccer moms than an SUV. That content may not exist, or it only might exist on 1 or 2 other sites. So if you think about the concept of information gain and add additional context that helps the customer make the right decision, still beneficial to create that earlier funnel content.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Greg, you mentioned about car dealership, and I found that you often speak about this topic in your posts on LinkedIn. I usually check out your LinkedIn profile and I recommend to anyone to follow you. But I want to ask about car dealership. Basically, for example, 20 years ago when I bought my first car, I came directly to car dealership. I didn't go to Google, YouTube. I don't remember even YouTube was there on this time. But anyway, so I came directly to car dealership. Today, if I want to buy a new car, I go to YouTube. I can check out some reviews on Reddit. I can analyze something on Google. So basically, when you pay for such expensive thing that you will take it for a long time, like for a few years at minimum, basically you need to learn as much as possible about that. So can you tell if car dealership are only in the final stage of sales funnel, how to optimize website content to get the right people?
Well, I think it's really more important to think about the full journey and not just the end of the funnel, because if you're just thinking about the end of the funnel and optimizing for the end of the funnel, you're typically going to miss out. And again, everybody's thinking about AI search right now, but AI hasn't really cracked local intent searches yet. They're trying to, but the results are garbage. And even still, there's a lot of research out there that shows that of all of the search volume, AI searches are maybe 5% of the total search volume. So you still have 95% of your customers finding you on Google. And like you just said, it may not be your website. It might be YouTube. It might be Reddit. It might be social media, because people are going to kind of fan out and go to all the places that they're used to using to get that positive reinforcement that they're making the right decision to purchase what they're going to purchase. So it's not just let me create content on my website. It's let me create content on my website. Let's make sure I've got videos on YouTube. Let's make sure I've got a Reddit strategy so that I'm there as well, because you need to be where your customers are as earlier in that funnel process at the earliest possible point that you can be, because the sooner you can get eyeballs on your business entity, if we're talking car dealership, you want your dealership to get eyeballs of potential customers as early in the funnel as possible, because of that, you're not just going only to YouTube and watching videos. You're going to YouTube, you're going to Reddit, you're going to social media, you're going to Google, you're going to all of these different places. And if you see the same dealership popping up in multiple places, whether it's conscious or not, that's reinforcement. And that's more likely that you're going to have that dealership in the final group of potential purchase locations when you get to the bottom of the funnel. So if you're only thinking, let me optimize for the extreme bottom of the funnel, you're missing out on all those earlier customer touch points that would help drive someone towards your dealership, and you're probably going to miss out on the business. So that's where it is really important to focus on the full customer journey and think about how you can get in front of customers as early as possible with the right answers to the questions they're asking.
Yeah, nice, 100%. So you need to earn this trust before customers are ready to buy. So when they are ready to buy, they will remember who helped them during this journey.
Yeah.
Greg, I want to ask about AI content. The last time, what I can see, even some studies can show that AI content can be quality. I mean, like even according to Ahrefs data, they show that like AI content even ranks higher than human written content. I don't know how these AI detectors can work. Probably they are not accurate. Basically, I always use AI. Sometimes I can write myself. Sometimes I can use AI. Sometimes I mix all of them. But honestly, my best results are coming from AI content. So, of course, I check out them. I edit as much as possible.
See,
and
that's the thing. That's what people don't do. People think AI content doesn't work because they go to ChatGPT and they put in a 5-word prompt, write me a blog post.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why that blog post doesn't work. But if you prompt it correctly and then you add in the human editing element, and that's the important bit. Sure, let the AI write the content, but you still need human editing. You can't just fully do it with AI yet. You still need the human editing on the back end. But yeah, I am very confident that you can do that and be very successful. Because in that case, you're really using the AI as a tool to make you more efficient. You're not having the AI replace what the human does.
Yeah.
Right?
I think, two important elements what I found can help to create high quality content, AI content. The first element, you need to know how to write. If you don't have this experience, it's tough to use ChatGPT, Grok, any other platform without having this experience, because I spoke with some great experts who have like 20 years of experience in accounting in the US. They know everything about accounting, but they don't know how to write. So they know how calculate data, how to gather all this information. But when they asked ChatGPT to write content, that was terrible, really terrible, because they didn't understand readability, emotions, many things. The same, I think, like if you don't know specific topic, you can't create high quality content. You can become a great writer, but if you ask ChatGPT without having experience in specific topic, you can't ask right questions. So basically,
exactly, it's the same kind of thing of like, there's a whole debate that's been going on for content for years of does the writer need to be an expert in the topic to write that piece of content? I don't think so. I think what matters is having the skill of being a good writer. And if you don't know about a topic, you can go research that topic. You can interview the client. You can go do research and read other things. Now, that takes a ton of time, but it's possible. It's much easier to have someone that's really good at writing write something that they don't know about than to have an expert in a topic write about something if they don't know how to write.
Yeah, that is why it's important to have two elements.
Yeah.
Know how to write and become an expert. I cooperate a lot with trading and finance niche, and what I found, many media stop asking by using AI. They even tell, okay, use AI, but bring quality. We don't care,
Yeah.
if you use it or not, just bring quality. And they didn't fire all these people.
Well, I
They
mean, it's the
cooperate,
same
still
thing
cooperate with
for
them.
years. You had the people that have done content for years, legitimately human written content, because we didn't have AI until recently. So you have all of these people that have written content legitimately, and then you still had the article spinners that were out there just trying to create content at scale, and it was garbage content, and that content didn't work compared to well-written content. It's the same thing now with AI. You have all the people out there looking and there's a lot of people that are looking for the silver bullet. They want the shortcut to dominate visibility in potential customer searches so that they can make money. There is a subset of the people out there that think, I don't care if it's crap, if it works, and they will just they're now thinking, oh, ChatGPT, I can write 5 blog posts a day and churn out 150 blog posts a month, because now it's just like, ChatGPT, write this for me. ChatGPT, write this for me. And that's a lot faster and easier than writing 5 blog posts a day, which would be almost a full-time job. The problem is they're just churning it out for the sake of churning it out. There's no real strategy behind the content that they're creating other than, let's create a bunch of content. That's why it doesn't work. You don't have the underlying strategy of, I'm creating this specific content for this specific reason. It's just, I'm creating a bunch of content.
Yeah, I think it's even the wrong to think like how to create a bunch of content. Create one piece content, one high quality piece of content, then go to the second.
Yeah.
For me, like I have my scoring system from 0 to 100. If I can improve more than I created, so basically, yeah, I only go if I had 100%, and then okay, I can take another topic. So it's better less, but quality. It's very important. Greg, I want to ask about fake reviews. Basically, my SEO agency in Ukraine, so that was ranked like number 7 in Ukraine for a long time. So, and we got a bunch of fake reviews for 2 hours, and our ranking was decreased from 4.7 to 4.1. And the last review was, please contact me to pay, and I will remove all of them. Of course, I never connected with this person. I don't care about that.
Did you report him and get him removed?
Yeah, Google removed like for 2 days. 1-2 days, removed all these reviews. And I shared on LinkedIn about that. Many experts explain how to work with that. Then after a few weeks, one of my friend, Alex Mellon, so he has a website, Smart Sites.
Yeah, I know.
And he got the same issue with his website.
Yeah, it's a huge problem right now. It's people have discovered that this is a quick way to make a buck, because if you think about it, most of the people doing it, it's usually like 50 euros to get these reviews removed, right? And so you've got someone in a third world country where 50 euros goes a long way, and they realize they can churn out a bunch of bad reviews, or even, I've seen it happen with good reviews too, but they could churn out a bunch of reviews from fake profiles. And let's say I do this to 50 different businesses. If one of those 50 pays me, it's worth the effort, because you can do it all with AI now, right? And so you could spin up all of this stuff and go throw it at a bunch of different places. You only need one person to pay you to make it worth it. And so it is just rampant right now. There are so many instances, because I help on the Google Business Profile community forum for the Google Business Profile stuff. And we see this all the time now with this review extortion, where people are like, I'm getting all these bad reviews, and then I get a review that says, contact me and I'll get these reviews removed, or hit me up on my WhatsApp and I can get these removed. And then they're going to say on WhatsApp, you got to pay me $50 or $100 or whatever. And realistically, all you really have to do at that point is connect with Google support and say, look, here are these bad reviews that I got in the last 24 hours or 2 days or whatever the time frame is. And then here's the final screen capture that shows they just want money to get them removed. And Google's going to go remove those reviews. And Google, I know, is working on a way to try to fight it. It's hard to fight it. Like, how do you really know? Other than, there was one the other day that was really obvious. It was some business in a small town in the United States that in the space of 45 minutes got like 30 bad reviews, and they were all from users in Pakistan who had never reviewed any business outside of Pakistan, and they all reviewed this business in the space of like an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, that's not a realistic pattern. Like, that's something Google doesn't even need to see the review extortion, request at the end. They're just like, all right, look, Google knows these users, you're either fake, or if they're real people, they've never left Pakistan. There's no way that many people are going to leave a review for this one business in the United States. So Google can detect those patterns sometimes pretty easily, but it's just the scale of it. Google's got to do something, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but it's a bad problem right now.
Yeah, but Google has resources to figure out. But what I found, even someone who can make this attack, they develop their methods as well. So if Google can find a way, they develop all methods, how to cheat Google. Anyway, it's almost all the time. Okay, Greg, I want to ask, about businesses that want to jump in SEO field. And basically yesterday I had a good conversation with potential customer. So my sales person told me, let's have a meeting. But during the meeting, I got it. They will never order my SEO services because they told me it's the first time when they wanna jump in SEO. They never pay for any digital marketing, for any SEO services, and I found these customers will never buy. They are looking for cheap services. So even in our meeting, they say they wanna pay $25 per hour. And when I opened this website, it was terrible website. I mean, like, what more interesting about this business? They have plus 100 accounting specialists in California. So it's a big business that work well. I mean, like, they have all different methods to acquire customers, word of mouth, or anyway, salespeople can help them. But anyway, they decided to jump in SEO, and I told my sales manager they can become a good customer in 2-3 years. They need to fail many times with cheap SEO. Then they will figure out, learn
Pretty
more,
much.
and then can hire real experts. And it's common. It's really common. Many small businesses who want to jump on this field usually fail before understanding that quality requires
because
money.
they're shopping by price only. They're not shopping for value of what they're getting. They're shopping by price because they just don't know any better. So that's why it just takes a lot of education, and that's why we do so much with the video series that I do and a lot of the content that we put out. We're just trying to educate people so that they can have a better understanding of how this stuff works, because you do have these small businesses that are like, I want to pay $25 an hour for my SEO and that's it. And they don't realize that that's probably close to what you're paying your employee to do the work, and you're not going to make any money. And they don't realize that, the standard, I think the standard billable rate for SEO agencies is, at least in North America, is something like $150 an hour. So how are you going to get it at $25 an hour and get anything good? And the way that we always explain it to people is that when you're buying SEO, you're buying two things. You're buying butts in seats, hands on keyboards, doing the actual work, and you're buying the expertise of the person doing the work. So as you scale down in price, one of those two things has to give. So if the price is here and you want to pay less, you either outsource that to someone overseas that is cheaper, or you keep it with the people and you just hire people that don't know what they're doing and there's a lower level of expertise. And you have to realize that in any competitive vertical whatsoever, if you're not showing up on page one, you're not getting the business. And so you will have to invest in it. And it's, the other thing that I find crazy is you'll find businesses out there that have no problem spending $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 a month on paid search. But then you tell them they got to spend a couple of grand on SEO, and they're like, I want to spend like $500 a month. I'm like, I don't get the disconnect.
Yeah. By the way, it's better to mix SEO and paid marketing. In my experience, if you mix, results can become triple even.
For sure.
Yeah. Greg, I want to ask about citations and link building. So let's touch these topics. It's the most hardest part in SEO, but anyway, we need to do it this part. So can citations today can help with everything on link building, or you still need to invest in some specific type of link building for local SEO?
Oh yeah, like citations if we're not talking about AI search and we're only talking about organic Google search, citations almost don't matter anymore. Google has gotten smarter over the years, and a lot of people still push, NAP consistency, and you got to go get all your directories and citations, and that's not really true. It doesn't really matter. And any links that you would get from a citation site aren't going to matter from a link building perspective anyway. So really, citations are almost a non-factor. But if we consider also looking at what's working on AI platforms and AI search systems tend to use what we call citations in local SEO, those directory type listings, as citations in AI, which means it's a link. It's where the AI is getting information about a business. So potentially citations from a local standpoint are becoming important again because they will become an AI citation. Gets confusing because it's the same word meaning two different things, but potentially becomes more important. But from a link building standpoint, yeah, for sure, you still need to be doing link building outside of any citation work you're doing in local, because those links don't really count. Google knows that you're just basically filling out a form on a website to get a link, and so that link has no value. So you for sure need active link building outside of whatever directories you're getting listed on.
Yeah, and can you tell how to find the right link building strategy, or how to outsource the right people who can do it? Because I see when agents, companies can pay for cheap services, someone can buy on Fiverr, so.
Yeah, and most of the time those people are just, it's some sort of a blog network, and they're just dropping links on sites, and you're basically doing paid links at that point. You really need to find someone that does digital PR or someone that just does legitimate local link building, because for local businesses where you're worried about, there's a map pack for the searches that matter for your business. So Google knows that the people searching only need to see businesses in a particular geographic area. In that case, when you're doing link building, all the links you really need to worry about getting are links from other local businesses. So you just need to figure out strategies and tactics that will let you get links from those local businesses. Could be just being involved in the local community. It could be charity work. It could be sponsorships. There's a whole lot of different ways that you can achieve quality local links and earn those links the right way, instead of just going out and buying links. But it's different for every business. There is no kind of just link building playbook, because there's a lot of things that I can do with car dealerships that I couldn't do with doctors or dentists or whatever. So you really kind of have to look at the business model and figure out what the best ways are to achieve local links based on that business model.
Yeah. You remind me about PR. You mentioned PR. I worked with one big project in trading niche, and all competitors were like billion-dollar companies in the top 10 Google. So, and this customer paid $6,000 for one press release, to write press release and distribute, because this press release can work. And he gave me this task. So we need to figure out, because we can pay $70,000 weekly. It's a lot for 12 press releases. He asked, okay, our goal to write 12 press releases. We created the plan, and I started to learn PR from scratch, because I didn't have experience with that. I knew SEO, but PR was a different beast.
Yeah.
And I spent like 3 months without getting even one link, one mention. I wrote a bunch of press releases, plus 100 press releases. I distributed all of them. Zero. Nobody cared about me. Then in 6 months, I got first links mentions. In 9 months, we got Forbes, CNN, Business Insider, many big publications.
Yeah, you figured out the right way to do your outreach.
Yeah.
And the right stuff to put in there.
Yeah, it's a good idea for anyone. If you want to cooperate, outsource, hire SEO specialists, you need to understand. So you need to make your hands dirty. So basically, I spend all my time, like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, around 9 months to achieve these results. So from completely scratch.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and we counted, we saved like plus $3 million, for this specific website. We grew our results. But I think it's the same for anyone. I recommend just to learn a little bit, spend time about link building, about outreach, about on-page SEO. Just learn, understand how it works. Then you can cooperate with experts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem, is there are so many different moving pieces that it's hard as a business owner to choose the right partner to handle your digital marketing, because maybe as a business owner, you're really familiar with PPC, but you don't know much about SEO. Well, that's a big part of what you need to be doing. And it's hard to find the right partner, because anybody can say stuff that sounds like they know what they're talking about. It's, are they any good? And are they talking about the right things? Or are they using, outdated stuff that they learned a decade ago? You can flip it around the other way. You might have somebody that's really familiar with SEO, but they don't understand how PPC works. And then it's really hard to find a PPC vendor that's going to do good work, because you don't know what things to look for. So that's also why we try to educate people as much as possible, because knowing just a little bit is better than knowing nothing, because it helps you pick out the people that are truly there trying to help your business, or the people that are just out to make a quick buck and they don't really care whether you succeed or not.
Yeah, nice. Greg, our tool that we launch right now, so we created own tool. It's not Ahrefs, not SEMrush, not Surfer SEO. So we have our different tool, and we pay too much attention to meta text optimization. So basically, it scans all website, analyzes all meta text, and score them from 0 to 100. So
Okay.
we analyze data from Moz, HubSpot. I read many books from Joe Sugarman, many great books. So we created our algorithm, and in one niche, in weight loss supplements, we rewrote all this meta text for website, and traffic double from 100K to 200K.
Nice.
Basically, because all meta texts were written for the sake of putting keywords, nothing else, but we created algorithm that can encourage people to provoke curiosity to click, because nobody knows about quality of your content if meta texts are terrible.
Right.
Yeah, and I found your comment in someone post about putting the name of city or region. You think it's not good idea? I mean, like for local SEO, it's better not to do it because Google can figure out. Or
No.
Yeah.
For sure you want to do it. What I was saying was, don't put 5 or 6 in there. Put the one that you're actually targeting there. It's absolutely necessary and makes a massive difference. But there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, well, if I just put 5 cities in my title tag, and 5 cities in my meta description, and 5 cities in my content,
okay, got
and
it,
5 cities in my H1 heading, then I'm going to rank in all 5 of those cities. And Google is way smarter than that. You're not going to just show up in 4 other cities that you're not in just because you put those cities in your content and in your, page elements.
So one city is fine, correct?
Yeah, you absolutely should be doing 1 city.
Okay, got it. So yeah, I need to read again this post. Probably misunderstood that. Okay, Greg, what do you think about meta tag description? Because some experts said it doesn't play a huge role because Google can figure out content and provide better description. What do you think about that?
I think if we're not already in a position that meta descriptions don't matter, we will soon be there, because we have seen Google writing AI meta descriptions because they're doing a better job with the AI summary of the page than what the site owner is writing, because the site owner is either not putting anything in there, or they're putting in a bunch of keyword stuffed garbage and not really talking about what the page is about. So I can see that at some point in the probably nearer future, that meta descriptions won't really be a thing anymore, because Google's just going to create its own. From a SEO only standpoint, if we're not worried about AI search, having a better meta description will get you more click-throughs, and that's been proven time and time again with research. And if the person's search phrase is in the meta description, it will get bolded in the meta description, which research has shown will give you more click-throughs. So is it important? For now, I would still do it. Would I write them manually, or would I use ChatGPT to write them for me? I would probably have some sort of AI write them for me, because what's important is that you have something compelling there that includes the keyword. And while some people do write these massive paragraph long meta descriptions, it's really just a few sentences that's going to show underneath the link, and that's what matters. It doesn't have any influence on ranking, but it has a lot of influence on click-through. So I would still do it with the idea and understanding that probably in the future you're not going to need to.
Yeah, and I don't know about local SEO, but I can see, for example, how Amazon can write meta descriptions or meta text title, and it's lengthy than Google can show. Google got some of this information, but I checked some data that it makes sense because Google can understand better content, even if it cuts. So do you think it's a good idea to write more than 60 characters in title and
yeah, the whole 60 character thing was never correct. It was the easiest way to say you have this much space, because 60 W's takes up way more space than 60 lowercase l's. You know, so it's the width of what the display will show before it's going to just add the ellipsis and truncate the rest of the title tag. Not that it was actually 60 characters, but when you're going into a tool, it is easier in the tool to create the code to say, let's just say 60 characters, because on average, it's about 60 characters that's displayed. Okay, that was never really correct, but there's been a lot of research that shows that even if you're writing content in a title tag that is too long to be displayed in the clickable blue link, it's still influential in ranking and visibility. So, you know, people still tend to do keyword 1 bar, keyword 2 bar, business name. But writing something a little bit longer that's a little bit more accurate as a page description tends to be more successful.
Yeah, nice. Greg, about rewriting meta text without changing content. I mean, like, I check some data that it's not a good idea, because Google wants when you update content, then you can update meta text. And if you do it without changing content, Google can think that you can mislead. But sometimes people can write terrible meta text, you know, and they want to just.
I don't really have a problem with changing a meta tag without changing, or meta description without changing the content, because like you said, people can write some horrible stuff. And if we get a new client that we've just onboarded and the title tags and meta descriptions and page headings are garbage, but the content is decent enough, you don't have to go rewrite the whole page. Just re-optimize the page, put better subheadings in, put a better meta description, put a better title tag. Google's not going to ding you for that. Google's not going to hold it against you. Google's happy that you fixed the problem with that page, and you're probably going to get better visibility.
Yeah, nice. I have two final questions, very important questions for my audience, especially for newbies who want to learn more about SEO. I was surprised because I never thought to acquire this audience, but I have them. So I want to help them as well. And basically what I can see now, people have some doubts about joining this niche, because even 20 years ago, many people said SEO is dead. Today, it's the same. But what we can see, according to data, and we analyze some data, that in the US, big tech companies laid off 65,000 people in 2025. So a lot of people. And Microsoft, like 9,000 people, IBM, 8,000 people. And it's really tough to join this company. So basically, you need to become very smart to join this company, but AI replaced very smart people. I'm pretty sure these people will find another job or start own business. Probably it's temporary, anything what happens. But anyway, today many companies are looking for AI agents to replace someone who want to join this niche. And when I remember like 20, 30 years ago, small, medium, big companies hired interns just to give them job and to do some manual tasks, non-creative. They can learn, they can fix this gap. But today it's not the same. People are looking for AI solutions, AI agents that can do this job. Let's imagine, forget about your experience, about that you spoke on many conferences, forget about this webinar, about anything. So it's your first day in SEO. Nobody wanna hire you. What will you do to join this niche?
Ooh, that's a great question. If I know I want to do it and it's currently today and I don't have any experience, I'm going to get experience however I can. And that probably means I'm going to find friends or family that understand that they are taking a bit of a risk to let me handle it, but I'm going to do it for free or for ridiculously low price because I'm not worried about making enough money to live off of. I'm worried about getting my hands on a keyboard and getting the experience to see what works because yeah, anybody can go take a training course on SEMrush or they can watch videos on YouTube and learn the basics of what it is. But that doesn't mean that you can translate that knowledge into real world experience. You got to go in and you got to optimize a page and monitor. Does that have influence? Does changing the content and the layout and the technical aspects and the title and meta description and heading and all of these things on this one individual page have a positive influence on traffic and conversions in the future? You got to get that manual physical process experience to go anywhere in today's world. Anybody can go out and you can spend 10 hours a day for a week and watch 50 hours worth of video content and be able to go into an SEO interview and answer the questions well, but you're not going to have the real world experience of I've done this. I can show you in an interview, here's the positive impact my activities had on this one website. And I think that's the bit that's the most important is proving that not just in your head the high level view of how SEO works, but from experience of you've done these activities and what matters. So I would concentrate more on the doing than the learning.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you learn and do nothing, you can't get any results. You need, for me, it's better to learn less, but try all the stuff that you've learned.
Exactly.
So only implementation can show the right way to go and focus. It's very important to be focused. Like you focus on local SEO. You don't try to become an expert on all SEO. SEO is huge.
Yeah, there's so much to it.
Yeah. And my final question about forecast. I remember around 10 years ago, one of my friends came to me and asked, do you want to buy Bitcoin? I mean, like 1,000 Bitcoin. If you can't take 1,000, take just 100 Bitcoins, I replied to him, what is it? I don't know. I don't need it.
And now you're mad that you didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't want to buy something that I don't understand. I'm terrible with forecast. Anytime when I forecast anything, I fail. I failed with American president. I failed many times with many other events. But I love it. I mean, like it's always surprise, and I'm on the second stage. Basically, I can create Google, ChatGPT, but I can use these technologies, whatever happens, just to adapt fast on the second stage and think how to grow in my projects. Greg, I want to ask anyway, about the future. Can you forecast what kind of future will be in 5-10 years and your recommendation how to adapt to this possible future?
Honestly, who knows? Like, I think there's a potential that the AI bubble is going to burst and people are going to realize it's not really AI yet. And a lot of the pendulum swings back the other way and it doesn't quite get there. I think it's also entirely possible that AI kind of takes over everything. And, at some point, we're not really going to have to work anymore because AI is going to do all of our jobs better for us. Do I think that's going to happen in 10 years? I don't think it's going to happen in 10 years. I think there are too many bottlenecks with computer chips and the lenses used to make the computer chips that are hindering the growth of AI. I think if anybody can crack fusion technology or they can crack quantum computing, I think that definitely jumps things forward much more quickly. I think 5 years from now, we're going to have settled in, and a lot of the wild, wild west of I could do geo for you is going to go away. And we're going to really know more about how the systems work, and it's going to kind of level the playing field, and some of the wild, wild west stuff that works now isn't going to work anymore. I think that's much more likely. I think AI will be the primary interface for searches. Right now you have to opt into AI mode on Google. I think pretty soon it's going to be, this is just what you get, and you can't even access the old way of doing things anymore. I think Google's going to hold off until they can figure out how to monetize that the right way, because right now Google's doing it to stay relevant and current, but Google's also freaking out going, when we go into an AI mode all the time, where are all the paid ads going to go? And they're going to lose all their revenue. So they've got to figure that out. So I think that is slowing down the adoption of AI mode, because Google's got to keep making money. Like, it's a company. They don't work for free. I think 10 years from now, for sure, we're going to be in an AI powered world. How far that goes, who knows? I think it's going to be pretty cool. I like a lot of the video stuff that's coming out. My thing that I keep telling people I'm most excited about is, at some point in the future, like within our lifetimes, who knows how far away it is, but at some point we're all going to basically have personalized Netflix. I'm a Star Wars nut. I've got a Star Wars shirt on today. I got Star Wars stuff all over the wall. At some point, I'm going to have personalized Netflix or whatever service it would be, and I could just get original Star Wars content written and created and produced by the AI. So I have my own Star Wars shows and movies to watch myself. I'm very excited for that eventuality. And a lot of people are freaking out going, well, what about actors and whatever? I think you can, I see it's a very easy possibility that an actor still creates their performance and licenses it for one use. So like, you have a Tom Cruise that says, all right, whatever service this is, you can go out and use my likeness to create one unique thing per user, and they'll pay that person $100 million to be able to go create one unique thing. Now, if I want more stuff, then they're going to have to pay that actor more. Or I think, honestly, there is a future where a lot of the stuff is just pure AI and there are no real actors. So my personalized Netflix will be a bunch of actors that don't exist because they're all created by AI. But there's always going to be that need for human performances, because even when you get to the point where the technology can do that, the technology's still not going to be able to mimic accurately real human emotion and real human performances. So I think it's going to be more of, right now you have all of the mass produced stuff for streaming and for Hollywood, like theater production. You go to a movie theater to watch a movie. You still need actors for that now. But you also have the niche of the art house movies, the really low budget movies, or the art house, the artsy movies that are not widely watched, and it's something that comes out in 100 movie theaters worldwide, but they made the movie for $1 million, and they're not trying to make millions of dollars. They're trying to make art. I think that's how it's going to be in the future, where it's going to be a lot of AI produced video, but the art will be humans. And I think that you're still going to have the big blockbuster Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek, big blockbuster type franchises that will still be human actor driven. But a lot of the crap that you get right now, and the straight to streaming videos and the Hallmark Christmas videos and things like that, that's all going to be AI driven, I think, pretty quickly.
Nice. Yeah, good forecast. I don't know what kind of future will be, but I'm excited about the future. Probably in 5-10 years, AI Anatoly and AI Greg can sit here, on this podcast.
While we're on a beach having beers.
Yeah, we can just watch, how our AI agents can speak directly. But according to data, even today, 46% of all people follow one AI influencer, and sometimes they even don't know that this content was created by AI. So many faceless videos today. So
and I follow one on Instagram. I think it's called Atana, like AI Tana. And I followed it because it was a company that created an AI influencer specifically to say, this is an AI generated thing. We want to see how well it can compete in the algorithm, right? Like it was an experiment. It wasn't like we're trying to lie to people about it. They were very, like it even says on the profile, this is AI, it's not a human. And now the video stuff has gotten better. So within the last few months, all of a sudden, this AI influencer account that was always still photos now has that same character doing video stuff. And I think it's a really interesting trend to see that maybe now it doesn't really matter that it is some actual influencer as long as it's an account that people enjoy the content and follow.
Yeah. I really don't care. AI written, AI created, or human written. I care about quality. If it valuable, if content valuable can bring value, if it's enjoyable, why not? I will consume this content. Greg, thank you so much. I recommend to anyone to follow real Greg on LinkedIn because still don't have Greg Gifford AI, but we have real human being Greg Gifford who can teach us a lot about local SEO. I follow you on LinkedIn. Tell the best way of how to follow you, how to reach out to you.
LinkedIn's the best. Like I used to be really into Twitter, but Twitter kind of died, and now it's just a cesspool of people that are spreading hate and a bunch of AI bots. So I don't really use Twitter anymore. So LinkedIn is the best way. Just search Greg Gifford on LinkedIn. It's easy to find me.
Nice. Yeah, I stopped doing Twitter as well. So guys, you can find the link in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and see you next time.